Hi everyone, welcome back to Little K Artistry. I am Kristen, the artist also known as Little K, and this is my studio mascot, Mr. Bentley. It's been a little while since I had him in a video, so I thought I would bring him out to say hi. Mr. Bentley is my little buddy. He is, for those of you who were wondering, Bentley is a Chiweenie. He is part Chihuahua and part Dachshund, and mostly stubborn, whatever breed that is, probably the Chihuahua. Or I'm not sure, but anyway, he is a mini. He weighs about 11 pounds, and he is going to be 14 in September. He is 13 right now. It's the end of March 2025 when I'm videotaping this. I don't know if that's when you're watching it, but that's when I'm videotaping it. And I wanted Mr. Bentley to come on and say, hello, hi Mr. Bentley. You got kisses from Mama? Thank you. I love you too. I am going to put Bentley in his bed, and then I'm going to come back and share some information with you. Stay tuned. Be right back. So Bentley is in his bed, and I am ready to start this video. It's just a short video coming to you today from my little corner of the art world at Little K Artistry, my studio in my home. And today I'm actually not going to be painting. Today I'm going to be sharing some tips with you and a little bit of wisdom, and also some of my past art. And I wanted to share these with you because I know some of you are really frustrated, and as the image in the beginning of the video shows you, you probably at times want to rip your hair out. And I'm here to tell you that it's perfectly natural and very, I think, healthy and normal, whatever you want to use, what word you want to use, for artists, especially in the beginning. So I wanted to share just a couple of tips. This isn't going to be a long video, but I did want to show you some of my paintings leading up to some of the ones that I've done recently, and I wanted to share with you how I struggled with them, and then hopefully you'll see that I stuck with it, obviously, and they got better. And that's the whole goal of this video, is to tell you and encouraging you not only to go make the art, because you'll be glad you did, but stick with it, even when you want to pull your hair out because you're so frustrated. Speaking of pulling your hair out, I'm getting a haircut. I can't stand this anymore. I have to get it cut. It's grown out too much. Okay, so I wanted to start this video by sharing with you my very first pour painting that I did, and this was over 2 years ago now. I wanted to share this with you to illustrate that, first of all, I don't tape my paintings. I never have, and I probably never will. The back of your painting never gets viewed, but it shows, to me, it proves that, number one, this is not a digital print on a canvas. Lord help us if anybody wanted a print of this. And it's authentic. It's got my fingerprints in it, and this is something that I made. So this is my, oh my goodness. I was so proud of this, and I still am, because it's the start of my journey. I was so proud of this that I asked my daughter what her colors were and if she would like for me to do a pour painting for her. And she said yes, so I did this one. And I'm going to show a close-up of it. You can't see it from there, but there are a couple. Let me see if I can find one. There are a couple. Here's one here. There are a couple of blobs. There's one there, and there's one here. And I turned them into little hearts because I thought it would be cute. This, to me, represents the start of a long and sometimes frustrating, sometimes made me cry with frustration, sometimes made me cry with absolute delight. Some of you guys have seen some of those videos when I'm just blown away by what I was able to create. This starts the beginning of not only my art journey, but my journey of healing also, which is why I started this channel, because art is my therapy. And this was the start of my healing and getting healthy from my various trauma situations that I've been in throughout the course of my life, my childhood, and also my recent adulthood. So this was the start of it. This is my very first pour painting, and I varnished it, and I'm keeping it forever because I like to be able to see my progression, how far I've come and where I started. So that's that one. I'm going to set that aside. And I also wanted to show you one of my first. It's not my first because I no longer have it. One of my first. Oh, there's only a little bit on the back of this one. This is a cradle wood canvas. This is one of my first blooms. And this was done with just water and paints. And I emphasis on tried to do a Dutch bloom with just paints and water. And what I learned through this experience was too many bubbles. I had just mixed it. I didn't let it sit. I was too excited. I did not like the color, the background color at all. I thought it was just bleh. Too many cells. I blew it out too far. I torched it too much. I mean, there was just so many things. I don't even know which direction it goes. Maybe it goes that way. I'm not sure. But this was one of the first ones that I was like, okay, I think I can do this, but it's not what I want. It's definitely not what I want. It's very flat, very, very two-dimensional. And though I did like the color of the bloom, I did not like the background at all. I think this is Naples yellow, which I love in some of my other art, like this one here and this one over here. This is my abstract cellism. I love the Naples yellow in those, but not in this one. So that's one, and that's cradled wood. I like cradled wood and canvas. This is the first one, and you can see, still got paint on the back of it. This is the first one that I did that was on, number one, a larger canvas. Number two, I thought it was good enough to keep. And number three, I thought I had really got the Dutch bloom down, and I put texture on it. And this one is also never leaving my house. So this is, I have not sealed this one yet. I was thinking about tweaking the texture a little bit more. So this is the first one that I actually was like, yes. And this was over a year after I started my art journey. This one I was like, I got it. This one, yep, I like this. And it's still one of my favorites. I've had it hanging on my wall for a while. I did add some heavy texture around the edge of the petals, which I do enjoy doing. I did it to this one here. I did it to that one. I did it to this. This is my all-time favorite bloom, this one behind me. This one I'm never parting with it. I absolutely adore that one. And that one is one that I just did this week. This is one of my double Dutch blooms. So, but this was the first time I actually thought composition's right on, colors are right on, size. I didn't over torch it. I didn't over blow it. I didn't over spin it. I just thought it was the first time I ever really created something when it came out exactly the way I wanted it to. So that's why this one is really special. Then I wanted to show you two of my latest. Obviously that one I just shared with you. And these are just the blooms. These are not the abstract cellism. This isn't my abstract cellism journey. I'm still working on the intuitive botanicals that Winsky Downia has in her videos, and her trainings are just gorgeous. These are two of my favorites that I did this week. So let me set this one down first. This is just a smaller one, and let me see if I can get the composition. I'm trying to remember how I had it on there, like that. So once again, you can see there's stuff on the back. I don't tape off my canvases. Some people do, they think it's more professional. It's up to you if you tape the back and sides of your canvas. I don't. So this one, again, this one I did this week. So very similar color palette to that last one that I showed you, but this is the double Dutch bloom. So you can see there's 2 layers of petals on this one. This is a smaller one. This is only a 12-inch canvas, but really enjoying. So I took that original bloom and decided to make more petals, a second layer of petals, so just tweaking it. As I learn, as I progress, and as I think, okay, I've got that one, let me change it and add something to it. That's when I came up with the idea for the double Dutch bloom. And then out of that came the idea to try and get some, I'm trying to figure out the composition on this one too. To try and, see, once again, the back is dirty. To try and get some leaves behind the blooms. So this is one of my favorites that I did this week. This is a purple and orange Dutch bloom, but it has leaves behind it. So it's not technically a double Dutch because I'm not making double petals, but I have leaves behind it too. So again, just experimenting. And now that I have the confidence, and that's key, that's really part of it, is the more you paint, the more confidence you get in your ability to come into your studio and create exactly what you want to create. It just takes time and painting, patience with yourself, and then you build the confidence. So it does take time. So anyone out there who's thinking, I'm going to quit, I'm never going to get this, I'm not going to learn this, this is too hard, why can't I get it, blah, 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 I guess I'm not an artist, whatever, any of those negative things, put them out of your mind. They're not true. It's just practice. And I'm not going to say practice makes perfect, because I don't believe that art is perfect. Practice brings confidence. And confidence is what allows you to come into your studio or wherever it is that you paint, set a canvas down, line up your paints, and then put the paint on the canvas. Manipulate it however you do, either spinning, torching, blowing with the hairdryer, using a palette knife, a swipe, however you choose to manipulate the paint to get it to look the way that you want, or a brush, like one of those big brushes like what Skidonia uses. That's what gives you the confidence. It's just keeping on. So keep on practicing. Don't give up. It has taken me 2+ years. Now, I'm not a quick study apparently, but it has taken me 2 years to go from this to this. And I did not give up. That's the only, I'll hold these up side by side. The only difference is time and experience. I didn't give up. I wanted to. So let me clarify. I did give up. I gave up many times, but I used to be in sales. I was in an MLM, network marketing, for 14 years, and very frustrating. Those of you who have been in network marketing or sales of any kind know that it can be very frustrating. I learned all there was to learn. I was a student of, I love sales. I really love sales. It's like, I don't know why, but I really love it. And I guess that maybe I understand the psychology behind it. I understand the communication, and I love communication too. So I learned everything there was to learn in that company, with that organization, with sales, but I got so frustrated because I kept hearing no, and I kept hearing not now or later or whatever. And I was selling high-end skincare. It was not cheap. So I learned, and I studied, and I studied, and I practiced, and I practiced, and I practiced, and I got better. And then I was able to communicate better, get people what they needed, which is essentially what selling is, finding a need and filling it. So then I was able to do that, but I didn't give up. I practiced until I got confidence. And that's what this is. Confidence is key. Practice doesn't make perfect. Practice builds confidence. And then you can go from something that's not bad. I mean, I got some cells and it's pretty, and the colors are nice, but it's not this. And this to me is this was the aim, this was the goal. Not that I wanted perfection, because I don't believe that art can be perfect. But what I wanted was to come in here and say, I want to do a purple bloom, 5 petals with an orange center with leaves behind it. And have the knowledge and the experience with the techniques and the different mixes and the pouring mediums to be able to put the paint on the canvas and manipulate it and get what I wanted to get. So back in that MLM company, I quit. I quit many times, and I always came back to it. In this, I quit many times, and I've always come back to it. So one of the things that is similar in both situations is I quit for a day. And I remember my trainers telling me, I would say, my upline, that's what you call them, I would say constantly, I'm going to quit. I can't stand this. I'm quitting. And they would say, okay, you can quit for today. Quit for today. Put it away. Don't think about it. Tomorrow, get back up. Do it again. And I would do that. I probably quit once a month back in my sales day. I did that for 14 years. After a while, I wasn't quitting anymore. With this, I quit probably once a week. In the beginning, maybe the first year, I quit once a week. And then I was like, no, I'm not quitting. And then I would come in, I would paint every day. I would scrape a lot of them. And I would use a lot of the scraped paint for the next ones. And then scrape it again, do the next ones. Then I got to the point where something like this happened. Okay, I need to practice more. I need to be able to recreate this. And then I would go back into my studio and weeks would go by and I wouldn't be able to recreate it. I'd do exactly the same thing. I started recording them, do exactly the same thing. It was so frustrating, pull my hair out. I'm at the point now where I do still get frustrated. Don't get me wrong. I do still get frustrated, especially when I'm trying a new technique, like my texture art. This is one of my very first texture pieces, and I do like it. It sort of came out the way I wanted it to, but not exactly. So yeah, I do still get frustrated. Do I still quit? Occasionally, but let me show you this. You might have seen this. This is my latest texture piece. And this, you can tell I can't really find the words. This is 2 years in the making, this series. This is the first one. This is chronicles my healing, chronicles my journey, chronicles my path, and from the darkness to the light. And it does. It chronicles my journey into from victim to survivor, from pain to happiness, from fear to joy. And this is texture. This is my heavy texture. So when I first started these, I quit. I mix after mix and trial after trial, and I quit. And I was, okay, I'm going to come back to it. I don't quit as much now because now I know that things like this can happen, and they happen more regularly. So if you're out there, basically, the whole point of this video is for me to show you some of my earlier stuff, because some of you have asked, but also to encourage you and to remind you that life is a journey. It's not a destination. It's a journey, and the little things along the way are what we learn from. Our mistakes, our, people call them screw-ups, if you will. They are lessons. And every person watching this, I can guarantee, if I say to you, you learn more from your mistakes than from your successes, I would probably wager that most of you would agree with that. It's true. The lessons are there, the speed bumps are there, the problems are there, the issues are there to teach us. How do you work with it? How do you get around it? How do you get over it? How do you get through it? What can you learn from it? That's what this journey is for me, and that's what Beyond the Canvas is going to be as well. So having said all of that, I want to thank you all for joining me today. I know this wasn't a real long video and I didn't paint, but I'll be back with painting videos before you know it. I have more of these. There's so much more art to create, you guys. I can't even stand it. So let me end by saying, if you want to rip your hair out, I'm going to cut mine. Don't. But understand, first, you are not alone. Second, it's perfectly healthy and totally normal. And third, you can quit for a day. Rest, rejuvenate, relax, lose the frustration and the irritation, and come back to it and start again. And you will get there. If you don't quit, you will get there. And you can quote me on that, you guys. 2 years. 2 years it has taken me. And for some of you, it's going to be longer than that. This is just my journey. 2 years of frustration and a few wins. But now, I don't know how this goes yet. I think I really like it this way. Not sure yet. Now, I have I'm literally surrounded by proof that if you don't quit, you'll get it. So this is Lil K. And I'm again reminding you and encouraging you to go make the art and don't give up. You will get there. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, and I'll be back soon with another painting video with a glorious double Dutch bloom. Thank you guys. Mwah. You're awesome. Have a beautiful day.